All right, guys, what's up? Welcome to another video. This is a recap. Last year's video did so well. We're doing another one. Top 10 stupid things agencies are doing right now in 2021. Guys, we have a unique ability here at Hite because we work with agencies all around the world. We see their numbers. We see their stress. We see their churn. We see what packages they're selling, what's not, what's being successful. And it makes us really, I think, unique in our ability to be able to deliver this type of information. What I want to do though first is take everything I say with a grain of salt, all right? Take everything I say with a grain of salt. The stupid, it doesn't mean you're doing stupid things. We've all done stupid things. That's just part of being an entrepreneur, having a business. Like I call them these like aha moments where you're like, oh my gosh, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Oh my goodness, why did I knew I shouldn't have hired that person. I knew I shouldn't have. We do stupid junk all the time, all right? So don't take offense. Take all this stuff with a grain of salt. So number one thing that I see agencies really dropping the ball on, I mean really dropping the ball on, and it's so crucial. Number one is going to be finances. Finances. Couple of things here. Number one, actually having a budget. Now, I talk about this all the time. And I see this, I promise, I see this all the time where I have agencies, they're doing 50, 60, 70,000 in revenue, but when you look at their checking account, they got nothing to show for it. When you look at their checking account, they don't even know what their oh man, we're profiting tons of money, doing it super well, and it's got zero in there. What's actually happening with your numbers? Number one, having a budget. Number two, guys, you have to understand what your actual numbers are, right? So for me, I have a budget. I have a budget every single year that I put together for every single one of our companies. And then every single month, I'm comparing that to what we actually do. What do we bring on? What's recurring? How much is my revenue as one-time fees that I'm not gonna experience next month? How much of this budget am I losing in churn, whether that's financial churn or client churn? What is actually happening with my finances? You got to have a P&L, right? And you should be able, as an entrepreneur, you should be able to do this yourself. You have to understand these things because if you don't, you're not going to understand what's really happening in your business. For me, this is the story. This is where my money's coming in. It's where it's going out. And I might have an idea, but the idea isn't a reality. You have to be focused on your P&L, what's actually happening. And then, another thing with finances that I think people are they're missing out on is this idea of savings. I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey actually sponsors our marketing agency. Savings is so crucial. For us at Hite, we do not measure savings in dollars. We don't do it. We measure savings in months. How many months of savings do I have? And this is really simple. You add up all of your expenses, your team, your product, your systems, your fulfillment, add up all your expenses and divide that out by how much money you have in savings, and that's going to give you a number. How long could you, if a pandemic, I mean, this is crazy, but if a pandemic happened next year, how many months could you survive before you had to go get a day job? How many months could you survive before you had to tell your wife, like, I don't know how we're going to pay the mortgage this month? Months is key. Had someone the other day, perfect example, someone the other day, they had a $50,000 a month in revenue. $50,000. But they had about $10,000 in the bank. They could literally survive 1 week if they lost their clients. If something happened and he got cancer, if something happened and he died and his wife was left 1 week. On the flip side, had another agency I was working with had $10,000 in revenue, and they had $30,000 in savings. They've been doing it a long time. They were just coasting along, but they weren't spending all their profits. This guy could last 4 months. I think it was almost 5 months, living the life he was living today and not having to worry. This allows us to not be stressed out with money. This allows us to focus on the most important parts of our business, our team, our fulfillment, our product, our sales. It allows us the freedom to really hone in to what's actually happening. Guys, finances. So many of us are missing out here as a business owner, as a business leader. If you don't know your profits by the dollar amount, if you don't know your expenses, if you don't know your margins, you got a problem waiting to happen, right? Number 2, this is controversial, all right? So put in the comments below how wrong I am or how stupid I am, or give me your feedback. I mean, don't be rude, but I love it. I love it because this is the one I'm about to give, it's one that I'm most anxious about, to be honest with you. And the reason I'm anxious about it is because it goes against the grain. I feel like coach everyone is pitching this like crazy, and I'm not a believer. It's building your agency solely on the back of Facebook ads. Are you building your agency where you have 20, 30, 40, 50,000 in revenue, but 75%, 80%, 90% is coming off of Facebook ads? I think this is a big mistake. Here's why I think it's a big mistake. Because the biggest people in the world right now, the biggest agencies in the world, are having so many problems, Trouble, that's a song, so much trouble with Facebook. Oh, my ads got disapproved. Oh, my account got shut down. Oh, my account got suspended. This is unstable. And if 80% of your revenue is built on something that's so unstable, we have an issue. And this is the best agencies in the world. You think your agency with freaking 5 clients is going to have the ability to go touch base with Facebook and really get problems? Do you think they care about you? I mean, I would hope so, but let's look at the reality. So many times I'm saying, like, number 1, all the suspensions and all the issues like this. Number 2, man, the uncertainty, I don't know, I can't spell anything, but you get what I'm saying. The uncertainty with CPLs. Like, man, how many of us are running Facebook ads? One day it's 50, the next day it's 100, the next day it's 20, it's too unpredictable. The formula isn't as predictable as things like AdWords and other things. Number 3, and this is a picky one for me, all right? I believe the whole entire system is bound to shut down in the next year to year and a half. And I know this sounds a little crazy, but if you look at Facebook, the whole entire system is built on discrimination. I'm going to serve you ads based on your sex, based on your location, zip code, i.e. income level, right? This zip code versus that one. I'm gonna show you ads based on what you're interested in or not interested in. I'm gonna show you ads based on, guys, this is you can't do that. You can't target certain types of clients for your business and not target I think it's just a matter of time before the government starts honing in on this. And the moment that happens, the moment that we can't target in Facebook, if 80% of your revenue is, we're gonna have issues. We're gonna have a lot of issues. So for Facebook ads, I think a big thing, and I had this on last year. Now I think, like, I was reading an article yesterday by Dennis Yu in digital marketer, that was talking about Facebook ads. I think people are starting to catch on. This is huge. It was in my video last year. It's gonna be in my video this year because I still think there's too much uncertainty. Let me ask you a question, guys. Man, I'm not smart enough. I'm not smart enough for this stuff, right? So I like looking at the people that are much bigger than me. You know, like Reach Local has millions of dollars in R&D every single year. Do I think, is it possible that I know something that Reach Local hasn't figured out yet? Like, maybe, but probably not. If these guys if these guys aren't focused on Facebook ads, potentially, I should just be aware. Just be aware of what's happening, right? I want to follow the big fish, you know? I want to follow the big fish. Number three is this. Listening to the noise. Guys, those of you that are agency owners, if you looked at your Facebook, you probably have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 friends that are in the agency space. And you're constantly seeing all of this feed. You're in the groups like Go High Level or Digital Agency Hacker or Marketing Agency Automation Secrets. You're in all of these different groups. Here's the deal. Come up with your own number, but just think about the number. 99% of those agencies are between 1 and 5 clients. 1 and 5. So when Bob over there posts his amazing post on how he's getting $1 CPL for $1 billion product, like just know that chances are there's more to the story. Wait, when the roofer, the guy who focuses on roofing ads comes and says, oh man, I guarantee results. I guarantee results. But they only have 7 clients. Like if you really, really, honestly could guarantee what you do as a marketer, that low, that cheap, that affordable, you should have a lot more clients. I mean, like, just think about it, right? Like, why would a roofer ever cancel on you if you were getting them jobs that were worth $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for $500 a month? Like, they would be stupid. They would be ignorant, right? Like, there's probably more to the story here. So here's my deal. Like, even on this video, guys, I said in the beginning, take everything with a grain of salt. What works for me may not work for you. But don't get distracted by the noise. I get agency owners all the time. They work with us like in our white label fulfillment. Like, man, but like, dude, I see guys getting like $60 cost per lead on Google, and they're crushing it. Well, do you know the full story? Do you know what kind of leads they are? Do you know what their quality standards are? Do you know there's so many questions with these numbers. Just be aware. I saw someone the other day post. They posted a picture, and it was like, man, I'm gonna try to remember it here in live. It was, what would you rather have, $60 CPA or $40 CPA, right? Which would you rather have? Well, you might say this, right? And you've seen this probably with cost per lead, right? But like, then the percentage of close rate is much higher than on the more expensive one. But even as a cost per acquisition, what's better, 60 or 40? Well, I don't know. Well, let's say the average ticket value was worth $2,000, right? Which would you rather have, this one or that one? Well, what if I added this to it? With this campaign, the max leads, because of the audience, because of the targeting, because of the keyword, because of whatever, with this campaign, $60 CPA, you could only get 10 leads, but with this one, you were able to get 20. Now which one's better, right? Like, there's so many more things to stories that typically the one. So listening to the noise is a big mistake I think a lot of people are making, all right? We're listening too much. Focus on your own numbers. Right? Like, listen to your own story. How long are your clients staying with you? Churn is so important. How long are clients staying with you? They're staying with you 3 months on average. Okay, how do I make it 4? How do I make it 5? How do I make it 6? Don't listen to your audience, your friends, where 99% are between 1 and 5 clients. Even your coach, who's an amazing coach. You know, I have a lot of friends that are coaches, but how big's your coach's agency? Have they actually went from 10 clients to 100 clients? Or do they have 8 clients, 6 clients, 3 clients, or maybe they don't even have. Again, take what people say with a grain of salt. Be just aware of what's happening, right? Okay, number four, and this kind of goes off the first one, all right? But it's been something, I'm really big into the financial advisor for 7 years, kind of hit into me. Understanding what it means to profit. Understanding what it means to profit. You have to separate, guys, business and personal. These are 2 different things. JC Hite has a salary every single month. And when I take home that salary, then it becomes my personal. And then I have a savings on my personal. But my business is what it makes. If my business, after my expenses and revenue, my systems and technology, makes $4,000, but then I pay myself $3,850, my business, guys, profited $150. It did not profit $4,000. All right? Oh, but JC, when I file taxes, it's one tax return. No. Guys, your business has to be profitable and have a savings on its own, right? It kind of ties back into that first one that I mentioned on finances. If you're saving $150 a month, I mean, you're a day away from losing it all, right? For me, when it comes to scaling a business, I know a lot of people talk about sales and growth and numbers and da-da-da-da-da. For me, it's more about the safety net. Because here I'm learning every month. Man, the entrepreneur I am today compared to 4 years ago, like, there's not even a comparison, right? But if you can't survive, if you can't survive 4 months and all of a sudden you have a downtime, Now you're done. Because at 3 months, guess what? I got to feed my family. I got to go take the day job. Now I just went and I demolished, right? Surviving is key. If I survive and I make money along the way and I'm always getting stronger, I'm always getting bigger, I'm always having a bigger team, I'm always building more knowledge, survival is key. Simon Sinek talks about this. He says the finite game versus the infinite game. So many of us are focused on the finite game. What's your sales numbers? What's your revenue numbers? And we're not focused on the infinite game. The goal of business, guys, is to simply stay in business. Stay in business. That's the goal. That's the goal, guys. Number 5, all right? Another controversial topic. I'm going to argue with all my coaches. So again, leave your comments, thoughts, feedback. I personally will respond to each and every one of them, or as many as I can. But number 5, charging too much, and I'm going to put an asterisk here, too soon. I think it's only 1.0. I don't know. I took Composition 201 like 3 times in college, but it still doesn't work for me. And I'm going to put here with an asterisk, too soon. Too soon. Here's the reality, okay? My competitors, and I got several different ideas here. So number one is ability for profit. And I'm going to go with this from my client level, all right? Now, churn is so important. Not losing clients, I promise you, is key. It's not one of my points here, but I got a lot of videos on churn. Go watch them. Ability to keep clients is so important. So let me give you an example. We're doing Facebook ads over here. Your agency, you have management, and then you have management, and then you have ad spend. All right, I'm going to give 2 scenarios here. All right. Let's say the client has a $3,000 budget. Now your agency, you're getting fancy. You're charging $1,500 a month, and $1,500 is going into ad spend. Now my agency, I'm charging $750, and $2,250 is going into ad spend. I'm going to change this to $700, just so my mind does not have to work too hard when it comes to the math here in a second, right? You're going to have $1,500 and I got $2,300. The client is investing the same exact amount, right? Now, if we both get $100 CPA, guess what? You got 15 leads. I got 23 leads, right? Which means that I have more ability for my client to be profitable. I have more ability for my client to be profitable. It's not rocket science, right? Let's even break this down even further. Let's say you got $15 cost per lead, right? I'm gonna change this up here. Actually, let's leave that at 100. Let's say you got 15 and I got $23 cost. I did a lot worse than you, so you might think. But the reality is guess what? You got 100 leads. Guess what I got? I got 100 leads. Let's break this down even further. Let's say you got 15 and I got 20. I did 25% worse than you on fulfillment. 25% worse. No, I think it's like 33% worse. 33% worse than you on fulfillment, but yet you got 100 leads and I got 106. Yeah, 160 leads, give or take a few, 5, 10, 50. Guys, I'm sorry, it's live. 115-ish. I did better. You might think I did worse, but no, I did better. This gives me the ability, guys. This gives me the ability to retain clients. I have a higher chance of being profitable for my client and having a retainable, scalable income. Oh, but JC, I need to charge more, $700 on a month. Listen, if your clients are profitable, if they're actually making money, if you're communicating effectively, you can always increase your funds. So either way, in this scenario, let's say your client, both of our clients, ended up profiting $3,000 and $3,000, or whatever the case. Maybe mine profits more because I'm getting them more leads. I don't know. But they profited this much money on this, so they had a 100% return on their money. And I came back and, hey, client, listen, I'm so booked. I have so many clients right now. We're crushing it for you. What I want to do is one of two things. Either one, I want to add SEO as a cross sell, or number two, I'm gonna have to charge you a little bit more. It's not gonna be much, but I gotta charge you an extra $400. And the reason is because I'm just getting so big. In order for me to grow my business, like I gotta charge more. I'm charging too little. So it allows me, boom. Now, if you're already profitable for your client, of course he's gonna be open to it. Of course he's gonna be open to it. No, by the way, by this point, you have 10, 11, 12, 13 clients. You don't have to have every single one, right? Charging too much can really hinder you, really hinder you, right? And don't, especially like just, again, be aware of who's telling you what, right? So I see a lot of these programs, and the programs are titled, 10K in 60 days, or 10K in 80 days, or 20K in 30 days. Like, because they want to hit this number in revenue, they're going to tell you higher. But the reality is if you hit 20K but then lose it all in 60 days, it's irrelevant, right? It's irrelevant. Charging too much too soon. You want to really think about, how do I give my client the ability to be profitable? Guys, next one on the board. Next one, all right? And this is cliche, but so many of us are not doing. So many of us are not doing it. Invest in learning. And I'm not necessarily talking about dollar bills. I'm talking about time. I'm talking about time. I see so many people investing in courses or buying content or buying into membership programs, but they don't actually spend the time, right? Like, when you could probably find the same things for free on YouTube. Hello? This channel, invest in learning. How many books are you reading? Oh, JC, I don't have time. Listen, guys, like, I try to read personally. I try to read a book every week or every other week in full. If I can make time for it, having a team of 80 people and turning off my phone every day by 5 o'clock, I promise you guys, you could do it. It's about managing your own time, but investing in yourself. You have to invest in learning. You have to invest in being aware of others. Now, where you invest your time, I think, is very key. Again, if you're in a community, if you're on Facebook, like, who are the people that are already doing what you're doing? Jason, if your goal is to get to 100 clients, maybe you should find 3 to 5 people that have 100 clients and follow them around, right? Listen to them. Ask them for time. Ask them, but don't ask potentially. Just be aware, right? Like, your coach that doesn't have any clients, like, he's going to be great. You're going to definitely learn from him, but how much more could you learn from this guy, right? And definitely don't listen to your friend who, he's having a killer month. He just hit 10K in revenue, which equals 4 clients, 5 clients, 7 clients. You need to find someone in this category, right? Where are you learning? Where are you spending time and energy, right? The next one, guys, again, a little bit controversial, all right? I got 3 or 4 of these that are controversial, but I call it the VA mindset. The VA mindset. So many people of us are asking the question, or they use it as a selling point of, oh my gosh, you can get people for $2 per hour. Oh my gosh, I've got an amazing person for $5. Like, the whole point here is, how little can I pay a human being to make me money? Like, that whole entire mindset, there's so many things wrong from this. Number one, what kind of person are you finding in, like, how cheap can I pay? But the question should be, how much can I pay? Like, how much could I possibly fork out to make sure I get the best person? Also, even just the simple aspect of what a VA means, right? If you're hiring a VA and you've got a small organization, right? This VA, but I want someone that's a hustler. I want someone that's gonna drive and be really good and take initiative. But yet in your company right now, you don't even have employees. You have no benefits. You have no opportunities of growth, right? There's not like manager roles and director. There's no opportunities for growth. And, by the way, you only pay $2 an hour, $5 an hour. The reality is, in the VA idea model, I'm a hustler. I want to work really hard. You want to work. You wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't want to. Would you take this? No. But JC, they're in India. Come on, let's get real, right? Let's get real. The other thing with VAs, here's the issue. Here's the issue with VAs. So many of us, our cop-out is straight to VA, right? Here's the problem with this. If you don't know Facebook ads, if you don't know Google, if you've never done cold calling, if you've never any of these things, how in the world are you going to lead someone? How are you going to do it? How are you going to coach them? How are you going to know, like, oh man, you got $21, but I really think you could get 5 based on no idea, based on no thought. Oh man, you're only cold calling this many. That's amazing. If you've never done it, if you can't do it yourself, and you're hiring someone that hasn't really proven themselves, I mean like really, really proven themselves. And oh, by the way, people that when you post your job on cold calling, or someone calls you and offers you cold calling, or someone, like I'm looking for the guys that aren't looking for jobs. I'm looking for the guys that are at an agency that are thriving, that I can take. I'm looking for guys that are on a sales team being coached by leaders that I can steal, right? Like this whole idea of I want to pay someone as cheap as possible just mentally is the wrong thing. Like what if your clients did that with you? Listen, Bob, like I want to, every month I'm going to try to pay you less and less. I'm going to pay. Just be aware. Just be aware, guys. Hire team members. Like even if they're the idea of a VA, like stop calling them VAs, virtual. Call them team members. Give them some benefits. Give them some incentives. Give them some bonus schemes. But let's make sure that we're trying our best not to have this VA mindset of let me pay as cheap as possible. This next one, guys, I'm not even going to go into it in a lot of details because I'm not your mom. You should know what you're supposed to be doing. But this is not doing content. Oh my gosh. Oh, but JC, I'm not ready. Oh, but JC, I don't have a videographer. Oh, but JC. Guys, Facebook, daily. Twitter, like 10 times a day. LinkedIn, daily. What's the other one? TikTok? I don't know. TikTok, Snapchat. Guys, like spend 1 hour and just post. Oh, but JC is not. No. If you're going to go out and sell your services saying, hey, I know what I'm doing, you should pay me to do it, then you should be good enough to post some stinking content, right? It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to do. It takes you 1 hour a day to do it. Come on. And it leads me right in to my next point, which is this. Calendar. Calendar. Guys, your calendar as an entrepreneur, one, you should be spending, I think, 10 hours. Let's say, I want to say 10 hours. You should be spending 10 hours plus per day on your business as an entrepreneur. All right, oh, but JC, work-life balance, well, when you hit the revenue goals that you're wanting to, when you're hitting the profits, when you got the savings, then you can take off. 4-hour work week, 1 hour work week, 1 hour a day. I don't care what you do. If you have the savings, if you have the proven model. But when you don't, which again, we said 99% of our agencies are between 1 to 5 clients, meaning that they're 1 to 5 clients away from having 0 revenue, right? And you're not doing this, guys, you're just missing out. You're not hustling. You're not putting in the work. You're not putting in the energy, right? If you came to work for me, if you went to work for Wells Fargo, if you went to work for Google, if you went to work for any company out there, you wouldn't even hesitate. You would be expected to work 8 to 10 hours per day. But yet for your own goals, for your own dreams, for your own mission, for your own ability to scale, you're not willing to do this? How does that even make sense? Put in the time. So for me, I block this off. Personally, even today, I'm in the office about 5:45, give or take, and I leave the office every day by 5, and that's when I turn off my phone. All right? So I don't work until my baby goes to sleep, and then I shift it back, right? This is my work day. Now, I really love what I do. I enjoy the office so much. I love working with my team, right? But here's the reality. If you're working 5 hours a day, and I'm working this many hours or this many hours, and I'm going back to our data, right? And I'm 25% more stupid than you are, I'm still gonna beat you because I'm putting in more time. Golly, this isn't rocket science, right? And block off your day, right? So you're gonna have 2 hours where you're doing content, right? And then you're gonna have 1 hour of prayer and whatever you want to do, but schedule your day. Tell your day what you're doing, right? I believe that was 10. I got one bonus one, all right? And I said this at the beginning, but I will say it again, guys. There's no absolutes in this world, right? Like, oh, but JC, $1,500, you said that was too much. I'm gonna charge $800. Yeah, like, but there's people that make that happen. Oh, but JC, you said I should spend an hour a day reading. Well, there's people that don't, right? Like, you have to find your own way. You have to find your own way of winning, of succeeding, what feels right to you. But you also have to listen. You have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to your bank account, right? If you don't have the saving, if you're not happy at the end of the day, if you're feeling stressed, then there's something off. There's something wrong. Like even the biggest hitters in the world, the Dennis Hughes, the Gary Vee, the Chris Duckers, even the biggest, baddest people, you got to take what they say, what we all say, with a grain of salt. You got to adjust it to your own abilities, and you got to freaking make it happen, right? Top 10 stupid things people are doing. Don't take stupid the wrong way. We all do stupid junk. It's part of life. Embrace it. It's okay. That's how we learn. Hope you guys have an incredible, incredible day. Be sure to comment. Give me your ideas, thoughts. What did I miss? What are you seeing? Be sure to subscribe, like, heart, whatever the YouTube thing is you're doing nowadays. And guys, I appreciate you listening the whole entire way through. If there's anything my team can do for you, definitely let us know. Make sure you're in our free Facebook group, The Digital HC Hacker. And I look forward to meeting, hearing, engaging with each and every one of you guys.